Simulan mong abutin ang iyong pangarap na magbibigay dangal sa iyong bukas. Ang suliranin, hindi laging nandyan, dapat mong harapin. Kami iyong kasama sa bawat akin, magkaakbay nating lulutasin. Dito sa Fernandino Teens TV, ang boses mo ay mahalaga. Dito sa Fernandino Teens TV, ikaw lagi ang bida. Ang mga aral ay gininto ang atin ng bawat guro, na siyang gagabay sa iyong pagkamulat. Naway umukit ito sa iyong isipan, maging mapanuri, sundin ng wasto at nararapat. Kagandahang asal ang ipakita, ipadama ang pusong may malasakit. Dito sa Fernandino Teens TV, ang boses mo ay mahalaga. Dito sa Fernandino Teens TV, ikaw lagi ang bida. Sakali mang tayo'y subukin ng unos, ating haharapin ng walang takot. Sasamahan ka ni Fernan at Dino, ang bagong barkada mo. Dito sa Fernandino Teens TV, boses mo ay mahalaga. Dito sa Fernandino Teens TV, edukasyon mo'y sigurado na. Dito sa Fernandino Teens TV, boses mo ay mahalaga. Dito sa Fernandino Teens TV, edukasyon mo'y sigurado na.
Fernandino Teens TV.
Uy, tapos na ba kayo sa assignment ninyo sa math?
Oo. Bakit? Ikaw ba?
Hindi ko pa nagagawa. Nalilito ako kung anong akmang paraan ang gagamitin sa pagkolekta ng datos sa mga binigay ni ma'am sa assignment natin.
Ako, patapos na riyan. Easy lang ang pagtukoy kung anong akmang paraan ang gagamitin sa pagkolekta ng datos.
Buti pa kayo. Ako, ang dami ko pang sasagutan. Paano kaya malalaman ang akmang paraan na gagamitin sa pagkolekta ng datos at paano kaya i-organisa ang mga nakolektang datos?
Huwag ka nang malungkot, Nan. Ituturo ni Ma'am ang topic na yan sa episode natin ngayong araw sa Fernandino Teens TV.
Talaga? Sige, panoorin natin.
Tara!
Let's watch and learn!
A pleasant day, Fernandino Teens. How are you today? That is great. You are doing good. I am Ma'am Lorna, your math teacher lecturer for this episode of Fernandino Teens TV Season 2. Statistics keeps us enlightened about what is happening in the world around us, like the updates on the COVID-19, the implementation of progressive expansion of limited face-to-face classes, the election 2022, and the crisis between Russia and Ukraine. These are just some of the current issues that we want to keep abreast. Statistical data are important because today we live in the information world, and much of these data are determined mathematically by statistics help. In the previous lesson, you have learned what statistics is and its importance. In almost every field of study, like in education, engineering, medicine and science, business and commerce, government, and in the society. In our lesson today, you will explore on the first two steps in statistics, which are the collection of data and the organization of data. But before we proceed, let us have the lesson objectives for today. First, collect or gather statistical data. Second, organize the data in a frequency distribution table according to some statistical considerations. Third, appreciate the importance and the use of collecting and organizing data in dealing with real-life situations involving statistics. Let us recall some of the important terms related to statistics by answering the following questions. For each question, you are given 4 choices. You can type the letter of your answer in the comment box if you are watching via YouTube Live, or you can write it on a clean sheet of paper if you are watching via television. Are you ready, Fernandino teens? Great! Let us proceed to the first question. It is a branch of mathematics that deals with the collection, organization, presentation, analysis, and interpretation of data. The choices are letter A, algebra, letter B, geometry, letter C, statistics, letter D, trigonometry. Is your answer letter C, statistics? Good job, Fernandino teens. You got it right. For the second question, it is the process of obtaining information. For letter A, analysis of data. For letter B, collection of data. Letter C, interpretation of data. Letter D, organization of data. Do you have letter B, collection of data, as your answer? Fantastic! You are doing great, Fernandino teens. Third question. It is the process of ascertaining manner of presenting the data into tables, graphs, or charts. The choices are letter A, analysis of data. Letter B, collection of data. Letter C, interpretation of data. Letter D, organization of data. Did you type letter D, organization of data? Very good, Fernandino teens. Your answer is correct. Fourth question. It is the process of extracting relevant information from the given data from which numerical description can be formulated. For letter A, analysis of data. Letter B, collection of data. Letter C, interpretation of data. Letter D, organization of data. If your answer is letter A, analysis of data, then you are on the right track, Fernandino teens. For the last question, it refers to the task of drawing conclusion from the analyzed data. The choices are letter A, analysis of data. Letter B, collection of data. Letter C, interpretation of data. Letter D, organization of data. Amazing, Fernandino teens. The answer is letter C, interpretation of data. I am pretty sure that your memory is refreshed. Before we proceed to our lesson for today, let us first pause for a short break When we come back, I will be presenting to you the different methods in collecting data. So stay tuned until Fernandino Teens TV Season 2 returns.
Ang Schools Division Office City of San Fernando, Pampanga ay kaisa ng Department of Education sa pagsasagawa ng mga proyekto at programa na tumutugon sa mga pangangailangan ng mga mag-aaral. Inilunsad ang Division Call Center for Tutors and Guidance Counselors upang magbigay ng educational at psychological assistance sa mga mag-aaral, magulang at stakeholders ng division. Kaya, kung may nais kayong itanong tungkol sa pag-aaral, maaaring magpadala ng mensahe sa Division Call Center for Tutors and Guidance Counselors Facebook page o tumawag sa mga numero na makikita sa ibaba ng inyong screen tuwing Lunes hanggang Biyernes sa ganap na alas 8 ng umaga hanggang alas 6 ng gabi. Maaari rin kayong sumangguni sa ating guidance counselors na nagbibigay ng guidance and counseling services. Lahat ng inyong ibabahagi ay mananatiling confidential. Ang nasabing programa ay nagsisilbing daan upang malaman ang feedbacks ng stakeholders para matulungan ang ating divisyon na mapagbuti pa ang mga sumusunod na programa. Ano pang hinihintay ninyo? Tumawag na sa aming mga numero o bumisita na sa aming Facebook page at magpadala ng inyong mga katanungan.
Fernandino Teens TV.
Welcome back to Fernandino Teens TV Season 2. Earlier, you have refreshed your memory on some of the important terms related to statistics and the importance of statistics. This time, let us have the different methods in collecting data. As we have recalled before the break, collection of data is the process of obtaining information. Do you have any idea on how to gather or obtain information? Well, that is what we are going to find out today. The first one is the interview. Interview is the direct method of gathering data because this requires a face-to-face inquiry with the respondent. The interview method is done when a person solicits information from another person. The person who gathers data is called the interviewer, while the person supplying the data is the interviewee. The short video illustrates interview method. Teacher Lorna wants to know the feedback on the experiences and learnings of the students in attending limited face-to-face classes. In this video, Teacher Lorna is the interviewer, while Hazelyn is the interviewee. Aside from the examples shown in the video, interviews are also conducted during job application, admission for college or scholarship, news correspondence, and press conference. Let us have a situation wherein this method is applied in collecting data. Miss Connie C., a news reporter at EFTV, gathers data on the opinions of commuters in Pampanga about the Libreng Sakay program of the government. So, she interviewed some groups of commuters. Have you ever experienced being interviewed, Fernandino teens? Or maybe you are the interviewer and you have been assigned to interview someone. If your answer is yes, then that is wonderful, Fernandino teens. If no, then come out. It is your chance to shine. Do not hesitate to take the opportunity. Next is the questionnaire. Questionnaire is the indirect method of gathering data because this makes use of written questions to be answered by the respondent. A test questionnaire that is given by the teacher to the students is an example of this method. The short video shows questionnaire method. Teacher Lorna distributes test questionnaires to be answered by the students. The students are the respondents. The teacher explains the instructions to the respondents. As a student, do you do your best when your teacher gives you test questions to answer? That is great, Fernandino teens, if you do. Let us have an example of a situation where the questionnaire method is applied. The Don Paterno State University wants to upgrade classroom instruction. So, the administration has asked the students to rate their teachers in different criteria by answering a questionnaire in the form of an evaluation. Another example for this type of method is the survey. Surveys on the goods and services of a certain restaurant, fast food, supermarket, bank, and other establishments. Surveys on the ratings of public officials and surveys conducted by researchers are also examples of this method. Surveys can be answered either on paper or via internet through a link provided. Another method is the observation. Observation makes use of the different human senses in gathering information. The data are gathered either individually or collectively. The person who gathers the data is called the investigator, while the person being observed is called the subject. The picture illustrates the observation method. The doctor observes and gathers the data of a COVID-19 patient. The doctor is the investigator, while the COVID-19 patient is the subject. A little advice, Fernandino teens. Not only doctors can be investigators, even us can be investigators too, especially if one of the family members shows symptoms of COVID-19. Be vigilant and report it immediately to the proper authority to prevent the spread of the virus. Likewise, anybody can also become a subject because of the COVID-19 virus. So let us not wait that to happen by always observing health protocols like wearing of face masks, washing of hands, and social distancing. Let us take this situation in which the data are gathered by means of observation method. Dr. Jean, a psychiatrist, wants to know if patients undergoing drug rehabilitation have changes in behavior like self-control and discipline. So, he has gone to a drug rehabilitation center and observed the patients. Let us move on to the next method, which is the registration or census. This method requires the enactment of law to take effect because it needs the participation of a large, if not the entire population. An example of this method is the population census. What is a population census? Population census is the official counting of a population in the territory of a country and the collection of information on selected demographic and socio-economic characteristics of the population. Almost all countries conduct a population census at least once every 10 years. The picture shows a population census. The data collector gathers the demographic and socio-economic information of every member in the household, such as age, gender, income, education, employment status, home ownership, and even internet access. Just a simple reminder, Fernandino teens, if you are a respondent in a certain registration or a census, then make sure that you will give your full cooperation. Be responsive because your cooperation and responsiveness will contribute to the success of the activity. Let us consider this situation in which the registration or census method is applied in gathering the data. As part of the data needed in the research of a group of senior high school students at the Pampanga High School, the total number of voters in the last May 9, 2022 election is gathered. Hence, the students have gone to the COMELEC to get the data on voters' registration. Last is the experimentation method. It is usually conducted in laboratories where specimens are subjected to some aspects of control to find out cause and effect relationships. The picture illustrates experimentation method. Scientists and medical experts from around the world are doing experiments and research to formulate and create a vaccine against COVID-19 virus. Let us take this example of a situation in which the data are gathered by experimentation method. Dr. Green, a recognized agriculturist, wants to find out if fertilizer will produce more rice. So, he has performed an experiment on the effects of fertilizer on rice production. Are you still in, Fernandino teens? Did you take note of the different methods in collecting data? Terrific! You are catching on. Let us find out how to organize the data gathered when Fernandino Teens TV Season 2 returns.
Maya po oras kaya kayo, Fernandinos. Ako pala ay Elwin Arl Serrano ng City Tourism Office ng Siyudad San Fernando. Ngayong bulan na ini, pagmasusyan tayo ang National Heritage Month na ating temang Victory and Humanity, Upholding Filipino Heritage and Identity. Kambena nini, metong karing aktibidades na ning syudad, apin ning launching ning bayong Heritage Passport. Ning Heritage Passport, apin ning metong karing proyekto ning kaya katamong syudad, king pamanamuna ng Mayor Edwin D. Santiago. Anong nuka rin makalagelangan ding eganagan ng heritage sites, heritage structures, naakit tamo king kaya katamong heritage district. Makakayado din kini, ding importansya da ding mapil na tradisyon, kini syudad, kalupa na ning pamangawang parol, ang poing pamangalesa. May awo siyang heritage passport, uling atin kang dapat gawan, anong nukaran puntalan mo lading at yung passport, at saka ka mag-selfie. Kay ba't kanta, palto making tourism office, at mamiyalang sticker ka rin eganagan ng apuntulan mong lugar. At timong may ngari ang tutong passport. Balo mi ngeni, panahon na ini, tamo makain bisa lumal, uli na ning COVID-19 pandemic. Kaya naman kimbanwa nga ini, agkatan ko ding bikers tamo, edad 18 hanggang 50, imbis na lumaot kayo po, di na nyo lang dita ka oras di kaya katamong heritage structures, kaya ni syudad. Anya naman karing mumunang 50 bikers ang makayari kaya katamong heritage passport, midinan lang premyong only San Fernando loot bag. Inggawan nyo mo bakan ta makapag-register, munta kayo mismo opisina na ng City Tourism, ng munisipyo, at saka kayo magdalang metong valid ID. Kabinan ng kaya kayong heritage passport, ating makasipit ang instruction nung nano pa ing dapat gawan. Anya naman ka rin hanggang kapadyakin, nanano ko pa, tara na!
Fernandino Teens TV.
Welcome back, Fernandino teens. Earlier, you have learned the different methods in collecting data. This time, let us find out how to organize the data we have gathered. Before we go into organizing data, let us first define and familiarize some terms. Table is a systematic arrangement of data, usually arranged in rows or columns for ready reference of information. It has a title and appropriate headings for the columns and rows. Frequency distribution is a table that lists each data point and its frequency. Data is often described as ungrouped or grouped. Ungrouped data is data given as individual data points. It is also called raw data. For the first example, the test scores of 20 students in statistics are as follows. Let us construct a frequency distribution table for the given set of data. The test scores are given as individual data scores, so they are considered ungrouped data. How do we construct a frequency distribution table for ungrouped data? We have the following steps. Step 1, set the values of data, which are called scores, in the column starting from the lowest value to the highest, or vice versa. Label the first column of the table as scores, since the given data are test scores. Identify the lowest and the highest score and arrange them accordingly. The highest score is 10 and the lowest is 3. Write the scores from highest to lowest, starting from 10 down to 3. Step 2. Create the second column with the frequency of its data occurrence. Label the second column as tally. Count the occurrence for its score and express it as tally marks. The score 3 occurs only once, so the tally is 1. The tally for the score 4 is 2. For the score 5, the tally is 3. For the scores 6 and 7, both have a tally of 2. For the scores 8 and 9, both have a tally of 4. And for the score 10, the tally is 2. Step 3. Create the third column where the frequency of its score will be inserted. Label the third column as frequency, and the frequency of its score will be inserted. The frequency of the score 3 is 1. Score 4 has a frequency of 2, while score 5 has 3. The frequency of both scores 6 and 7 is 2. Scores 8 and 9 have a frequency of both 4. And the score 10 has a frequency of 2. To get the total number of data scores, which is denoted by n, simply add all the frequencies. So, n is equal to 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 2 plus 2 plus 4 plus 4 plus 2 is equal to 20. For our next example, construct a frequency distribution table for the grades of 32 students in mathematics. Following the steps in constructing a frequency distribution table for this ungrouped data, we have Step 1. For the column grades, let us identify the lowest and the highest grade and arrange them accordingly. The lowest grade is 85 and the highest grade is 90. In this example, write the grades from lowest to highest, starting from 85 up to 90. For the second step, in the tally column, count the occurrence for its grade and write it as tally marks. The grade 85 occurs 6 times, so its tally is 6. The grade 86 occurs 4 times, the tally for this grade is 4. The tally for the grade 87 is 6 because it occurs 6 times. The grade 88 occurs 7 times. It has a tally of 7. 89 occurs 6 times, so its tally is 6. 90 occurs 3 times, therefore it has a tally of 3. For step number 3, in the column frequency, the frequency of its grade will be inserted. 85 has a frequency of 6. The frequency of 86 is 4. 87 has a frequency of 6. The frequency of 88 is 7. 89 has a frequency of 6. The frequency of 90 is 3. Adding all the frequencies, 6 plus 4 plus 6 plus 7 plus 6 plus 3 is equal to 32. In symbols, the value of n is 32. Now it is your turn. You can use the series of steps in organizing data. You can type your answer in the comment box if you are watching via YouTube Live, or you can write it on a clean sheet of paper if you are watching via television. Are you ready, Fernandino teens? Let us begin. The teacher has asked 20 grade 7 students for the number of siblings they have. Here is the data she has collected. Let us complete the frequency distribution table by answering the following questions. You are given 5 seconds to answer each question. For the first question, how many students have 0 siblings? Time's up. Correct, Fernandino teens. There are 3. So, there are 3 tally marks and the frequency is 3. Next question. For the students with 1 sibling, what is the tally and the frequency? Time's up. Very good, Fernandino teens. There are 4 tally marks, so the frequency is 4. For the third question, how many students have 2 siblings? Time's up. Great, Fernandino teens. There are 7. The tally is 7 and the frequency is 7. Let us move on to the fourth question. How many students have 3 siblings? Time's up. Excellent, Fernandino teens. There are 3. The tally is 3 and the frequency is 3. Fifth question. What is the tally and the frequency of the students with 4 siblings? Time's up. Good job. The tally is 1 and the frequency is 1. How about the tally and the frequency of students with 5 siblings? Time's up. Amazing, Fernandino teens. The tally is 1, therefore the frequency is 1. For the 7th question, what is the tally and the frequency of students with 6 siblings? Time's up. Fantastic, Fernandino teens. The tally is 1 and the frequency is 1. Last item. What is the total frequency? Time's up. Nice one, Fernandino teens. The total frequency N is 20. Did you get all the items correctly, Fernandino teens? I hope you did. We will identify real-life applications associated with data collection and organization. We will have more of these when Fernandino Teens TV Season 2 returns. So stay tuned!
Hindi lamang sa larangan ng pangkabuhayan apektado ang maraming pamilyang Pilipino, kundi maging sa larangan ng pagkatuto ng bawat batang Pilipino. Inilunsad ng siyudad ng San Fernando ang programa Nurturing Environment and System for Thriving or NEST, isang education community pantry na naglalayon para sa isang malawakang pagtulong, paglantabay at paggabay na ang focus ay ang makapagbigay ng tulong at suporta sa ating mga mag-aaral sa pamamagitan ng pagbibigay ng educational needs gaya na lamang ng school supplies, tutorial sessions, study tips, at iba pang mga pamamaraan na mas lalong makatutulong sa pag-angat ng ating edukasyon. dahil hindi hadlang ang pandemya sa magandang kinabukasang naghihintay sa ating mga mag-aaral. Sino-sino nga ba ang mga kalahok sa programang ito? Sa pagtutulungan ng ating school administrators, guro, magulang, at iba pang mga miyembro ng ating komunidad gaya ng barangay officials at sangguniang kabataan ay siguradong magiging mas matagumpay ang programang ito. Paano nga ba ang magiging proseso ng naturang programa? Una, magkakaroon tayo ng isang Facebook group, ang Pampanga High School Nest Education Community Pantry na pangungunahan ng Educational Pantry Coordinator. Ang mga magulang, tagapangalaga at mga guro ay ia-add ng ating Educational Pantry members sa Facebook group na ito. Sa page na ito maaaring i-post ng mga magulang at tagapangalaga o sino mang miyembro ng Educational Pantry ang kanilang mga kahilingan o requests. Kailangan ding ilagay ang pangalan ng mag-aaral, grade at section para sa mas agarang aksyon. Oo nga pala, hindi lang requests ang pwedeng i-post. Pwede ring mag-post ang mga nais magbigay ng tulong o mga gustong mag-donate. Sabi nga nila, sharing is caring. Tandaan na ang Facebook group na ito ay pribado at posts na may kaugnayan lamang sa page na ito ang maaaprobahan. Mayroon din palang Google Form na ipamamahagi kung saan maaari nating isumite ang ating requests o kahilingan. Paano naman ang mga walang internet access sa bahay? Huwag mangamba dahil merong mga nakalaang drop boxes ang ating paaralan na kung saan maaaring ihulog ng mga magulang at tagapangalaga ang kanilang requests. Sa mga nais namang mag-donate ng school supplies, maaaring ilagay ang mga ito sa tabi ng drop boxes. Maaari ring mag-donate ng mga kagamitan o cash donation kaakibat ang pagsusumite ng deed of donation form. Pangalawa, mahalaga ang ugnayan ng mga guro at ng mga magulang o tagapangalaga sa programang ito. Gamit ang video calls o chats ay ipahahayag ng mga guro ang adhikain ng programang ito sa mga magulang o tagapangalaga. Maaari ring gawin ang orientation na ito ng face-to-face kasabay ng schedule ng kuhanan ng mga module. Gaya ng nabanggit, hindi lamang mga bagay ang maaaring i-donate. Pwede ring mag-conduct ng tutorial session, study tips, at iba pang mga kagamitan sa pagkatuto gaya ng mga aklat o kaya ay gadgets. Ikatlo, ang requested needs ng ating mga magulang o tagapangalaga ay ililista ng ating Nest focal person. Ang mga coordinator naman ang mag-aayos ng mga ito. Ang advisors ng ating mga mag-aaral, guidance counselor, at iba pang mga guro ay ipaaalam sa ating mga magulang at tagapangalaga ang petsa at oras ng pamimigay ng requested needs na gaganapin sa paaralan. Sabi nga nila, it takes a village to raise a child. Kaya naman aktibo at iba yung pakikilahok ang inaasahan sa pagsasanib puwersa ng paaralan at barangay na siyang tutukoy sa pangangailangan ng bawat Fernandinong mag-aaral at kikilos upang matugunan ito sa tulong at suporta rin ng mga miyembro ng komunidad. Isang malawakang komunidad para sa isang produktibong educational community pantry ay tiyak na lilikha ng iba yung pagkilos upang maging mas magaan at madali ang pagkatuto ng bawat kabataang Fernandino. Kaya naman tandaan, magbigay ayon sa kakayahan, kumuha ayon sa pangangailangan.
Fernandino Teens TV.
Welcome back! You are still watching Fernandino Teens TV Season 2. Before the break, you have learned how to construct a frequency distribution table. At this point, I am sure you have acquired another learnings about statistics. To check whether you have really understood the different methods in collecting and organizing data, let us do the following activity. The activity is titled, Show Me. Show a heart symbol if the method applied in collecting data is appropriate in the given situation, and a smiley emoji if not. You are given 3 seconds to give your answer. You can type your answer in the comment box if you are watching via YouTube Live, or you can write it on a clean sheet of paper if you are watching via television. Are you ready, Fernandina teens? Come on, let us get started. For the first situation, Miss Lorraine Guintu, a grade 10 SPJ student at the Pampanga High School, has interviewed the school principal because she wants to know the plans and programs for the incoming school year. Is it a heart emoji or a smiley? Time's up. Yes, it is a heart emoji. Very good, Fernandina teens. Second situation. Miss Maya Renea Bondok wants to assess the numeracy skills of her students. So, she has asked her students to do a science experimentation. Is it a heart emoji or a smiley? Time's up. Excellent, Fernandina teens. It is a smiley. The method applied in the given situation is not appropriate. Miss Maya Renea Bondok should have given her students a math test questionnaire in order to assess the numeracy skills of her students. For the third situation, Dr. Z has observed the COVID-19 patients in the hospital because he wants to monitor their conditions. What do you think? Is it a heart emoji or a smiley? Time's up. Brilliant, Fernandina teens. Yes, it is a heart emoji. Did you get all the 3 items, Fernandina teens? I hope you did. This time, let us do a game titled The Stat Tower. For the mechanics of the game, you will supply the missing items in the frequency table. You are given 3 seconds to answer each question. For every correct answer, you will move 1 step upward until you reach the top. You can type your answer in the comment box if you are watching via YouTube Live, or you can write it on a clean sheet of paper if you are watching via television. Are you excited, Fernandina teens? Great! Let us begin. Miss Gemma Araneta, the OIC in a beauty pageant, wanted to get information about the ages of the contestants. She collected and recorded their ages. Let us complete the frequency distribution table by answering the following questions. In item number 1, what is the missing age? Why? Time's up. What is your answer? Nice one, Fernandino teens. It is 19 because we arranged the ages of the contestants from lowest to highest. For item number 2, how many tally marks are missing? Time's up. Did you type in 6? You are doing great, Fernandino teens. Yes, it is 6. Let us have item number 3. How many tally marks are missing? Time's up. Is your answer 2? Excellent, Fernandino teens. The answer is 2. For item number 4, what is the frequency? Time's up. What is your answer? Extravagant, Fernandino teens. There are 3. Item number 5, what is the value of n? Time's up. Superb, Fernandino teens. The value of n is 20. Did you enjoy the game Stat Tower? Yes, me too. Congratulations for finishing the Stat Tower game. Data are simply a collection of different facts, including numbers, measurements, and observations that have been translated into a form that computers can process. This may sound easy, but data are effectively changing the world we live in and the way that we work. Data are changing the way people live their lives as they are applied to fields that are on the screen. The following are used as references in the episode for today. I hope that this topic has inspired everyone to learn more about statistics. Again, I am Ma'am Lorna Guintu, your teacher lecturer for today. Thank you for watching Fernandino Teens TV Season 2.
O ayan, Nan. Nakuha mo ba ang mga dapat tandaan para masagutan ang assignment natin?
Oo, ganun lang pala ang pagtukoy kung anong akmang paraan ang gagamitin sa pagkolekta ng datos at kung paano i-organisa ang nakolektang datos. Gagawin ko na mamaya.
Diba? Sabi ko sa'yo easy lang yan. Nasabi rin ni Ma'am na kailangan na magtiwala sa sarili para magawa ang kinahihirapang gawain.
Agree ako dyan. Ang dami na naman nating natutuhan sa araw na ito. Kaya naman, maraming salamat, Ma'am. Isa na namang makabuluhang talakayan ang ating natunghayan, Fernandino Teens.
Samahan niyo ulit kami dito lang sa susunod na episode ng Fernandino
TV,
Season 2.
kung saan ang kabataang Fernandino ay angat sa angking talino.
Bagong umaga, yakapin mo ang bagong pag-asa. Simulan mong abutin ang iyong pangarap na magbibigay dangal sa iyong bukas. Ang suliranin, hindi laging nandyan, dapat mong harapin. Kami iyong kasama sa bawat takin, magkaakbay nating lulutasin. Dito sa Fernandino Teens TV, ang boses mo ay mahalaga. Dito sa Fernandino Teens TV, ikaw lagi ang bida. Ang mga aral ay gininto ang atin ng bawat guro na siyang gagabay sa iyong pagkamulat. Naway umukit ito sa iyong isipan, maging mapanuri, sundin